Okay, once again, you know, I'll probably, I'm looking to get that Sony HXR NX100 X-Cam digital video camcorder, and it should be, standard with a quick release plate. Well, my phone's actually on now with an adapter. Yeah, so and get some good quality mixed in with the mixing board for some like live audio production, recording as well as video, AV recording. So yeah, but right now it's the mobile phone, and it seems to be like an ongoing issue. And this is like my fourth mobile phone in like 10 months. I mean, for real. And some existing like AOL like email and homepage access to my email just hadn't happened since I had this particular phone. And I've had to call. It's kind of like I'm not even in control of actually the reverse mirror. I can't find it as an icon. But as soon as I called AT&T and like 611, it's kind of like the continual issue like repeatedly. It's like, hey, like do you solve anything besides maybe talking. When that happens, I like am I going to like reap the benefits of like interest bearing accountability and accruing the value. I mean, when's it going to happen, kind of thing. So anyway, it's kind of like I talked to AT&T and which is my provider now, and 611 is kind of like, come on, okay. So anyway, this is like my fourth phone, like, and within 10 months through like the last year, and it's kind of like ongoing technical issues that really, it's kind of like, hey man, it's kind of like, you gotta be kidding me, okay. Anyway, here's the Phillips Craig Dean CD, and I was telling you about a little earlier. Here it goes, yeah.
Close to your side, so
Okay, yeah, okay, good. There it was. Yeah, it gets better. Yeah, a lot better. Yeah. So all my music that I practice really, I like a thoroughly originated from like a seriously hard rock type of background, and as far as the sound, looking for the Christianity and not necessarily the Christianity, but the sound in Christian rock or progressive. I couldn't truthfully even back in the 80s even find anything that would even meet the requirements to be even considered like truthfully progressive, truthfully at all in the Christian rock scene. Maybe I just didn't know where to look. Maybe I was like on a different planet and like I was like still here kind of thing. But anyway, yeah. So probably I found quite a bit, and truthfully I've included it truthfully with a lot of the 80s like hard rock thing, and truthfully a lot of the bands that were like available in the 80s might just been like the Houston, Texas area thing. It's kind of like, is it just like me? Is it like when I get this like not available, it's like now it's available? It's kind of like, you got to be kidding me, some retroactive administration here, right? So yeah, for real, okay? So anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of bands that like I've been practicing. Truthfully, it's been going on and on and on about getting to where I'm at right now, and truthfully at this point, it's not really whatever, but this is what it is. So I'm like getting to the point to where getting serious about the auditions, finding the pretty much it's I've said it many times in my videos, like since I've been like really recording and making music videos, of like it's a standard reference of like what I practiced like my entire life, really, truthfully. Anyway, so in that sense, it's kind of like finding musicians that like thoroughly choose what they've I don't know if I'd call it like identifying their image or whatever the case may be. Maybe so more in the teen years as compared to like progressively advancing into the discipline of like thorough practice. Beyond what image might not mean towards the progression of actually practicing as a musician or even a singer or whatever the case may be. So I mean I'm sure that most musicians feel like once it gets to a certain level of like practice image is like not necessarily the hype of what deemed as like what teen popularity might mean and on the charts based upon it just depends on what the programming means in the viewing area, truthfully so. And truthfully whether segregation is some like principle of equating or not equating to like what having the right to assemble and networking truthfully means in distribution. Hey, yeah, for real, okay. So in that sense and manner, I kind of like look at things in complete different way than truthfully I may have been accused of, and not know that I've been accused of, maybe being aware of, like possibly sounding like now kind of thing. But anyway, yeah. So I'm like taking all that in consideration and trying to present something to maybe get beyond what if there is any boundaries and limitations that might suggest any issue that might reflect what networking is, or range, or if you want to call it range, or like live via satellite, like as the world turns, like increasing value, yeah, truthfully to a degree, yeah. So I'd like to include all that and like really jump right into it with my original music, because it's going to include so much about that. So very many things that like really beyond the classroom. It's amazing. Truthfully, the classroom time that I had, in the earlier years was more like a, truthfully a playground. Yet, it's taking it seriously, beyond, what would be normally like the 12 public grades of like, ultimately high school, and then like getting into, maybe if it can be even considered like the word of like, the 4-year bachelor or bachelorette, whatever you want to call it, into the PhD of like curriculum, based upon, you've heard it, but just had to be there, kind of thing. Beyond associates, the bar associate, like, having, demanded center, like being in need of like higher education, So I don't know if that would be the, constituting factor of like, the amending factors in need of management, manufacturing, the state of grace issue. Hey, but, whatever, So like in the table of contents, and the menu and all that good stuff, involving programming, if the transcript and manuscript, is an issue of like, terminology in real estate, whether it's non-negotiable, non-transferable itemization, reflecting, any participating factor that might go beyond, the if you want to call it, the distinguishing factor between credit and deduction on the tax form. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So like I'm going to get into like some serious terminology because, I've been like so aware of so many factors of like, the phrase that, guess you had to be there kind of thing, and like knowing where the word is, where the word really is, and not, integrating any misperception or misconceived perception of maybe not the experience itself with the terminology. So, I'm very conscious about terminology in the sense in that way, and not limited to by a long shot. And as far as like my original music goes, it's going to really get into a view of like Christianity. Truthfully, unlike anything that truthfully I was ever taught, and truthfully that I've like proven that integrating factors of like today's world and degree level as compared maybe to the naivety of certain issues involving Christianity that might distinguish excelling beyond the continual like what are you born again, and, like you doing that again and you still wait a minute you're born again, right? Let me get this straight, you're born again, okay. I mean, are you sure you're Christian? I mean, are you sure you're Christian? I mean, you're born again, okay, okay, you're like, okay, at least agree, maybe in your second lifetime, maybe, okay, yeah, for real, okay, so anyway, yeah, for real, okay, so anyway, yeah, so, I'm going to get into, some reality with terminology and degree, and the Christian Science part of, if you want to call it the access easement of like of terminology, like, ultimately in my mind, like the biggest word in audio production and like signal processing, even like symbolic waveform, behind, if you want to call it shorthand chord reporting, thoroughly not the hieroglyphics of the, the paramount issue of like, for Purple Mountain's majesty or the conflict of interest, if there's like a geographic, defector, like, trying to attach some sort of religion that might, promote whether if the pyramid is like something equating issue of like whether birthrights and citizenship has ever been the question, but over a transaction at the bank kind of thing, So anyway, yeah. So I thought I'd kind of like throw that in there before I like maybe go to bed, for a while. So yeah. So good, yeah, for real. So yeah, good, great. Talk to you later.